Hello, time travelers, and welcome new time travelers. As always, if you enjoy learning different historical events from around the world, then don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today we're going to start out in 1421 when King Henry VI of England was born in Windsor, Berkshire. Moving on to 1534, when Sebastian de Belcazar, a lieutenant of the Spanish conquistador Francisco Pizarro, occupied the Inca city of Quito in what is now Ecuador. Moving on to 1865, when Georgia became the 27th U.S. state to ratify the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. In 1898, philosopher Alfred Eisenstein, whose images, many of them for Life magazine, established him as one of the first and most important photojournalists, was born in what is today Swansea, Poland. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that, and if I pronounced it incorrectly, I'm sorry. In 1907, an explosion in a coal mine in Manga, West Virginia, killed more than 350 people, many of them young boys. On this day in 1912, a bust of Nefertiti was discovered during an excavation at Tel El Amarna, Egypt. The sculpture later went on display in a Berlin museum, and it became a source of controversy as it alleged plundered artifact, provoking calls for its repatriation. In 1917, Finland declared itself independent of Russia following the Bolshevik Revolution. Now, representatives of the British government and Irish leaders, Arthur Griffith, Michael Collins, and others, signed the Anglo-Irish Treaty on this day in 1921, concluding the Irish War of Independence and established the Irish Free State. In 1933, in what was considered a landmark ruling, a U.S. federal judge held that James Joyce's Ulysses was not obscene, thus allowing for greater freedoms in literary works. In 1969, violence at the Altamont Rock Festival in Livermore, California, climaxed during the Rolling Stones appearance, when a concertgoer was fatally stabbed by a member of the Hells Angels motorcycle gang, which had been hired as security. 4 years later, in 1973, Gerald Ford was sworn in as Vice President of the United States, succeeding Spiro Agnew, who had resigned. 8 years before the turn of the century, in 1992, the Barbary Magistracy in Idaho was destroyed by Hindu nationalists, leading to riots throughout India that killed more than 2,000 people. 6 years later, in 1998, Hugo Chavez Freitas, who led a coup attempt in 1992, sweeps to victory over the establishment candidate Henrik Salas Romer in the Venezuelan presidential elections. 6 years after the turn of the century, NASA released images taken by the Mars Global Surveyor that indicated that the relatively recent presence of water on Mars. 2002 is when Raphael Warnock, the first black person elected to the U.S. Senate from the state of Georgia, won a close watched runoff election. And with that, we will return to 2024 and our current history. As always, if you enjoy learning about different historical events from around the world, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. I'll see you all in the next one.